Well, hello there. It's been a little while, hasn't it? It's been a couple of weeks since I've had a video. You saw my last video, I mentioned I'd been down in London with work and all sorts of stuff going on. But you know what? Sometimes life just throws you a little bit of a curveball, and I've got other things that I have to deal with, which is why I've not been here. As such, all my winter prep is behind. I'm behind, I'm miles behind. I feel I was up the allotment. It's been a bit neglected. I was up there the other day and I had a look around. I was going to do a video there and I felt a bit ashamed. I saw it and I thought, what a state. And it always looks in a bit of a state. At the end of the sort of summer, as you go into the autumn, it's always a bit of a mess, always a state. That sort of gap between the end of summer and getting it prepared for winter, getting the autumn bits and pieces out, it always looks a mess. And I was like, oh man, with everything else going on. And then I saw that as well. I was like, no, I'm not doing it. It's just a bit rubbish. So we're here. We're down in the greenhouse. I thought I owed it to you guys. You know, you've supported the channel for a long time now. Thought I'd come along, get a video out, get you updated with some bits and pieces that are going on. And we've got there's still things going on. There's still life in the greenhouse. Look at all these little lettuces that are desperate to be potted on. And we've got, what else have we got here? We've got a Swiss chard that needs potted on. They're probably going to be a big tangled mess of roots at the bottom. The most important thing I want to get done today is get these potted on. These are the Sensu winter onions. We're going to overwinter these. I'm a little bit worried. Middle of October, then maybe, because like I say, last couple of weeks, probably the last month, I've had my eye off the ball. You know, I've had, like I say, other things going on, other things distracting me that I need to deal with and take care of. And I've just, these should be further on, so I'm going to pot them on. Ideally, I wanted to be planting them out this month. Will they get out? I don't know. They might get themselves a couple of weeks TLC under the grow lights in the house just to bring them on. If we get them in there, couple of weeks in there, another week back in the greenhouse to get them acclimatized to being outside again, then maybe end of the month, we might just get them out. Maybe at the start of November. Hopefully, they'll be strong enough and ready enough to go out. But anyway, main job for today, getting these potted on. So without further ado, let's get set up over here, get cracking with these, and we'll have a bit of a chat while we're doing different bits and pieces. So hopefully you've got the two different camera angles here so you can see everything that's going on. So I'm going to use this funky little seed tray here, and this is brilliant. This is one of the ones that Ian from Grown Local gave me. Absolutely smashing. Honestly, I'm actually waiting at the moment. I'm waiting on Ian sending out the garlic. I'm really looking forward to getting the garlic from Ian this year. They're going to be smashing, because last year's garlic was a little bit disappointing, shall we say. But this little kit, this is fantastic. The way they split apart. I'm not going to split them apart now because I'm going to fill them up with compost and hopefully get some onions in there. So we'll not split them up too much just yet. But actually, you know what? I tell you what. Speaking of compost, just while I'm doing this, so I've got a couple of bags, just sort of whatever was on offer, just for starting seeds off on that at this time of year. And it was, I can't even remember where it was it B&M or somewhere like that I got them from anyway. And I was sifting it through, as you do when I sifted it all through, and it's all right. I've mixed in a bit of vermiculite. It's not too bad. But where is it? Let me show you this. Look at this. Let me show you this on this camera. This one over here, close up. Look at this. This bit of glass came out. Look at that. Imagine, because I wasn't wearing gloves. Normally I'd wear gloves when I'm doing stuff, but no gloves this time. And that was Westland, just general multi-purpose with John Innes compost. And I've seen these stories about people who found glass in their compost before, and you know, touch wood, thankfully I've never really had that. I've had, you know, some bits of plastic or bits of this and that and t'other that I found in the compost, but I've never had anything truly nasty like that. So that could have been really dodgy actually, because I've had cut myself, and obviously in the greenhouse here you do garden stuff and you cut yourself, and I dread to think what sort of bacteria and whatnot that lives in this compost. Obviously I said compost made, isn't it? The bacteria and the bugs and things break down all the sort of matter into compost. So I dread to think what would have happened. So this compost has actually been living it's probably been in the boot of my car. You know what it is? I've been driving around with this bag of compost. I've got two bags, one for the allotment and one for down here at the greenhouse. And honestly, I've probably been driving it around in the car. I'm just gonna get in the water. 2 seconds. It's a bit dry, you see. That's the point I'm getting to. It's a bit dry because I've been driving it around in the boot of the car for probably the past 4 weeks. Now, in terms of fuel efficiency, I don't think driving around a big, massive bag of compost is ideal. That's for sure. But I just want it to be a bit wet, because when I make a hole in the compost to put the onion seedlings in, where I've put them, here they are, that the hole's just going to collapse. So as soon as I put them in there, if it's dry, when I sort of dip my little hole in there, it's gonna collapse. Now these little sort of cell trays come in banks of 4, and there's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. So what's that, 24? Is that right? The old grey matter there for the for my times tables from school. Hopefully that's right. And I think for overwintering, I see some of these things on Facebook, on YouTube or whatever, and people do millions of onions. Now I like doing a lot of onions because onions are one of the things that I use a lot of. So you know, I'm as bad as anyone, that I will grow things. Anyway, sorry, just before I tuck that away, look what lovely, beautiful little onion seedlings they are. And that's essentially, say again, seeds came from Ian at Grown Local, and they've turned out fine because of wet the compost. Now the little onion seedling and the little pug, that's got a proper name. You know what it is? Both these things, right? And I looked them up once, and I told everybody once the proper names for these things, and now I've forgotten them. But it's just about some things up for me at the moment. Like I say, I've got a lot going on in my life at the moment, away from the camera, and I think it's very, very easy for us when we're watching people on YouTube or on the television or whatever. It's all well and good, me happy, smiley, you know, positive, Mark here in front of the camera, but you know, behind the camera sometimes there's things going on, things that I need to deal with. Everybody has a life that is behind the camera, you know, different things going on, and I'm not going to go into any detail whatsoever because that's not appropriate. But you know, just beware, over the next wee while, the frequency of my videos might not be as they were. You know, I'd got into a pretty good cadence, I think, at the start of the year. I'd set out, right, you know, let's really push the YouTube channel this year. Let's get some really good content out there and do some stuff. And it was storming away. It was doing really well. I've really enjoyed this season. And let's be honest, this season has been a challenge, hasn't it? But you know what? Challenging seasons make good content, don't they? I think for people watching and seeing what's going on. If it was all very straightforward all the time, it would be some pretty boring videos, wouldn't it? I mean, I don't think this one is the most exciting, me potting on the onions, but I think it is. What I wanted to do was just have a bit of a catch up with you as well. I was conscious that I've been AWOL for the past couple of weeks, and it's important to check in and make sure you guys are all right as well. Make sure everything's going well out there in the world of gardening, growing and allotment, tiering, and making sure you're all getting on all right. So let me know in the comments down below, please, how you're getting on at this time of year. What sort of things you've got on the go. Are you overwintering onions? Last year was the first time I properly overwintered onions with the Senshus, and again, they turned out absolutely brilliant. They were great, and they were from set. But this year, say we've got our Senshu from seed, because growing onion from seed's brilliant, and it's great. Honestly, it's brilliant. And the Senshu onions again, honestly, came from Ian at Grown Local. It's not too late to get them sown. I know I'm saying I'm behind, but it's never too late, is it? Never say never and all that. Even if they don't work out, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? You've wasted a few seeds and a bit of compost. I mean, come on. Give it a shot, give it a try, get some overwintering onions on the go. They'll be absolutely marvellous. So get yourself onto Grown Local, have a look, get some stuff. And speaking of this isn't a Grown Local advert, by the way, because I actually really appreciate what Ian's doing. You know, because he's local to me. You know, he's not a million miles away. He's probably only about 20 miles away, from where I am, and I think it's brilliant, right? That he's got his own little company, right? He's churning out really good quality seeds, and over the past wee while that I've become aware of him and used his products and stuff like that, he's branched out. He's listened to what people want, and especially on the Potty Mouth Gardener Club there, you know, where you've got an audience of growers and they're saying, oh, we'd love garlic, we'd love onion sets, we'd love things like that. And off he's gone. He's gone off, he's sourced them and he's sold them. And you know what? I'm waiting for my garlic coming, and I think it's going to be absolutely blooming marvellous. Same with the potatoes, I was going to say, right? And he's like checking with people, you know, with people like us to get potatoes in, because, I mean, something like potatoes, like seed potatoes, is a real risk for somebody with a small business like that, because if they don't sell, well, they're done, aren't they? They'll rot. They'll not keep. You know, if you get seed in, the seed might keep good in terms of being able to sell it. I mean, I'm no expert in what you can do for selling seed, but if you can sell it, you've probably got a year or two, a couple of years, haven't you, to get shot of it before you're not allowed to sell it anymore. But yeah, I mean, good on them. Bit of a risk, but I think it's brilliant. So again, seed potatoes this year. Get yourself onto the Grown Local website, have a look. But you know, just doing that thing. You know, Ian's he's a passionate gardener, and you know, if you can do that and you can turn it into a viable business, a living for yourself, what a brilliant thing, isn't it? Don't they say, like, if you enjoy it, if you're doing what you enjoy, if it's like your vocation, your calling, even though you're working, they say you'll never work a day in your life if you're doing something that you really, really enjoy like that. Anyway, that's enough of me. I'll be chinning in for some blooming commission or advertising money. Not really. I think, like I say, I think it's brilliant, because you see all these big seed companies. You've got your Suttons, your DT Browns, your Thompson and Morgans, and all that sort of stuff, you know, which is good, which is fair enough. If there's particular ones you want to get or things you want to do, yeah, crack on. But for me, getting stuff locally sourced from somewhere nearby, from someone running a small business, is absolutely blooming marvellous. Anyway, that is me just about done with these onions. I couldn't fit them into the tray properly because they've all flopped over, and if I was doing it without looking, I'd trap them like this between the different cells and I'd end up snapping them. So let me get them sorted out. I'll come back to you in just a second and we'll see how things are looking. So a job ticked off the list. Well, several jobs. I will show you all of what I've been doing in just a jiffy there. But first up, the onions. These are them potted on. You can see they look a bit sad, they look a bit floppy. They always do when you pot things on, don't they? It just takes them a few days just to get sort of acclimatized to the new home, and they'll pick up and they'll be looking right as rain. Now, earlier on in the video, I did say I might put these under the grow lights. Now, learned people of YouTube out there, please let me know in the comments down below. Is it worth putting them under the grow lights? Should I do it? Shouldn't I do it? They'll be in there for a couple of weeks. I want to get these out end of October, start of November. Is it worth it? Or should I just keep them down here in the greenhouse? Because I see all this wonderful stuff, you know, especially people who do show growing or growing for the shows. Like, they start their stuff off so early in the year, and I see all these weird and wonderful contraptions that they have, and heat and light and all sorts of stuff to get things on the go. But I need to get things caught up. Maybe they're not behind, maybe they don't need to catch up. They'll catch up over the winter, but we'll see. What else have I been doing? The Swiss chard and the chicory rosa, there we go, that's all been potted on. They were in the little quarter-sized seed trays, and they've all potted on into bigger cell trays now. And apologies for the camera wobbling, they're all on the same shelf. We've got two types of cabbage. We've got a green cabbage and a red cabbage. The red cabbage is looking a bit sorry for itself. Honestly, the slugs have been going mad for the red cabbage. Every night I come down here to the greenhouse, pick out all the slugs and chuck them over the fence at the back there. But anyway, don't worry, there's no neighbours at the back of us. There's nobody out the back of us. I'm not throwing them into somebody else's garden. But as I was saying earlier as well, things might be a little bit inconsistent around the channel just over the next couple of months, couple of weeks. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll go head first into everything down here, and I'll do a million videos and put it out, and you'll be sick of the sight of me. Conversely, you might get some gaps between videos like this one. It's been 2 weeks since the last one. Again, going forward, there might be gaps, maybe like 10 days, maybe 3 days, maybe 2 weeks, who knows. But please just stick with us, subscribe, like, all that good stuff, leave the comments. Speaking of the comments, I've been rubbish at replying to the comments recently. And again, I can only apologise for that. Time and tide against me and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, we'll get there. We'll crack on. We'll keep going. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, folks. I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.